Hebrew history and prophetic books. 2. Judah and Israel under Jehoshaphat and Ahab, AM 3071 to 3107, 909 to 873 BCE. Under the reign of these two kings, both sections of the divided nation experienced a quarter of a century of peace with each other and, for the most part, a protection against the invasion of hostile neighbors. The two kings were remarkable in their way. Jehoshaphat appears to have been a prince of decided ability, both in civil and military affairs. Under him, Judah prospered more than at any previous time after the death of Solomon. Ahab was also a man of no small power and in many respects an efficient ruler, but he was morally weak and was disastrously influenced by his wife Jezebel, a princess, a woman evidently of great resources, but audacious and unscrupulous in wickedness. Now, Yizbal means something along the lines of chaste of the Lord. Now, the rumor was the biblical version gives you the idea that she was one of the temple prostitutes, so her chastity wasn't real chastity, but her chastity was limited to her, her husband, and her sexual role as a priestess would have been, what was implied there. But the real name is Azbal, and Azbal fits the role. So that's what the real term in Aramea is. So the Christian version of the name sounds like something different than the Jewish version of the name. And I don't remember if this name was, it's probably a twist about what a real name was. But anyways, the consequence was that the king sanctioned and encouraged the most unrighteous public conduct and was himself led into acts of gross immorality. It is true he was not destitute of occasional compunctions of conscience. There are indications of convictions which, however, seem not to have been cherished. The nation sank into the most degrading idolatry and the most abhorrent vices. The people suffered the judgments of God, but they never recovered their religious character, which is part of why not only did the kingdom of Judah and Israel split up, but there became a difference between the prophetic religion lost its hold enough that they came up with Judaism, right? The kings of Judah, Jehoshaphat, 914 BCE to 889, Ahab, 913 to 891 BCE as the king of Israel. How long did Ahab reign, and over which division of the nation? His character, what source of powerful evil influence affected him? What remarkable prophet suddenly appears during this reign? What judgment does he predict against Ahab and his people? 1 Kings 17:1 gives some account of Elijah's experience during the drought, fed by ravens. I know a guy called Raven's Sacred Voice, although I would like him to come on the channel. I'm not sure if he will, but went on some vision quests with the guy. The widow of Zarephath, what miracle did he work? 2 through 24 verses. After this, what was Elijah told to do? Whom did he meet? Character of this man, given an account of his interview with the king, describe the meeting with the priest of Baal and the results. 18, 1 through 40, Elijah on Carmel, the little cloud, the great rain. 41 through 46, Elijah's action reported to Jezebel and its effect upon her. I mean, if one guy's living a religious life or preaching or whatever, oh, I hear someone else is doing something and I didn't even know about it before, but it's happening somewhere. I'm going to stop it. And it's like, what was the effect on Elijah? You remember there's no J names. Eliyahu. What followed? Chapters 19, verse 1 through 14. On what important errand was he now sent? Incidents connected with this mission. Whom did Elijah call to be his associate prophet? 15 through 21. Give an account of the action of Ben-Hadad and the war that followed. 20, 1 through 21, and short for Ben-Baal-Hadad, which we don't, the whole son of deity thing, kings and stuff said it, but it wasn't something that people took all that literal. 21 through 21. Subsequent engagements and successions, verses 22 through 30. How did Ahab treat the conquered Ben-Hadad? So that was a spot, I guess. But was this a wise leniency? What rebuke did he receive? 31 through 43. So just like Beni Israel wasn't necessarily descendants of Israel, just like we saw in the other Methodist book that we saw, that the whole thing refers to something conceptual. Oh, the upright of God, the children of the upright of God. 31 through 43. Give the story of Ahab's crime against Naboth. Who inspired this wickedness? What terrible judgment was uttered against both? 21, 1 through 24. What description is given of Ahab? 25 and 26. What was the effect of the prophet's denunciation? 26 through 29. What was the name of a king of Judah at this time? How long did he reign? 22, verse 42. His character and the character of his reign, 2 Chronicles 17. Give an account of his alliance with Ahab. What was the object? And how was it encouraged? What contrary prediction was uttered? How did Ahab treat the utterer of this? What was the result? 1 Kings 22, 1 through 37. 2 Chronicles 18. What prediction was fulfilled in the incident mentioned in 1 Kings 22, verse 38. See also 21:19. What was the message that came to Jehoshaphat on his return from this war? 2 Chronicles 19, 1 through 3. What points of excellence in his administration are mentioned? Verses 4 through 11 of 2 Chronicles 19. What combination was made against Jehoshaphat? 2 Chronicles 20, verse 1 and 2. What measures does he adopt? The result? How is the victory brought about? The return to Jerusalem, 3 through 29. What rebuke did he receive and for what? Verses 35 through 37. And I guess that's where we stop for tonight.